I saw the repression of the police, and I still do not understand for a country who dare to accuse other country in Europe, like Hungary or something, to not respect the rights of people, to be so repressed against those who defend the oppressed. So, what is your opinion about this double language?
I think what Germany is trying to do is make 2015 reversible, where 1 million migrants entered the country from Syria, from Afghanistan, for example, and they are afraid to lose their hegemony. So what they are telling actually to the migrants is, you can stay here as long as you are white Germans. You can be also Syrian, but you're not allowed to go with your ideas and subjectivity, and to have you're not a political subject. You have to be submissive if you want to stay here. You have to be submissive.
Do you see a difference about the treatment of Ukrainian refugees and Arab refugees?
Not only Ukrainian. Germany is in desperate need for migrants because they need people, like all over Europe. But they, on one hand, they say we want to have, therefore they need this liberal image. We want people from the UK, from Ukraine, if there is no other choice, because it's not that they are not racist against Slavic people. But we want white people, actually. We want them to come to us. We will give them citizenship in an easier way. And if we have to tolerate Arabs here among us and Muslims, then they can stay here as long as they don't have any subjectivity. And the moment they will try to speak out loud about it, we will suppress them. So it's about migration management here. This is what is happening here. It's not about Jews, it's not about Israel, it's not about Palestine.
Last word from last question for me. What do you think? How the current war, genocide, will end?
Well, it's
in your opinion,
It's
I don't
hard to see how it will end. It's going to end. According to what I see in Israel, since 2008-9, when Israel bombed the Gaza Strip, I think that was actually the point of no return. Because then Israel used, for example, it closed the Gaza Strip for press, used, for example, white phosphor, and saw that, they can do whatever they want and nobody's going to stop them. And now they are in the mindset of what we call in Germany Endsieg. That's the total war that they are declaring, and it's an annihilation fantasy which they are realizing. They have this illusion that they can kill every Hamas person, which is a projection of the evil. This is what the Nazis did. Eichmann, for example, was very disappointed when the war ended and he was not able to kill the last Jew. That was a total failure for him. And this is the mindset in Israel, unfortunately, and 98% of the Jews in Israel are supporting that. And it means also that they are supporting the bombing of their own people, the hostages.
Hannibal doctrine,
The Hannibal doctrine, for example, or directive, and they live with this splitting in their mind of we can bomb in Gaza Strip and we can save the people that are there in captivity. And now, as time goes by, it's clear that the people in the politics, they are willing to sacrifice them, like they sacrificed many of the Jews in Israel or non-Jews. So it's hard to live with this contradiction, which means many people will be desperate. We will see more suicides, more. They are also giving a weapon to the society, the civil society. So we are talking about a state with lots of weapon in it, and people who are heavily disturbed and very aggressive. and where the norms of you know, you just have to shoot in order to kill, it's okay.
Okay.
So what I see is actually a catastrophe coming, unless, you know, the Western countries will say no, and we're not going to support it anymore. But I don't see that. I see how they give Israel carte blanche.
Norman Finkelstein, I love him, said in an interview with Cathy Helper, he said, people who receive instruction have tools to build distance with crimes. They are participating.
But it's not working. We know that it's not working. For example, you could see it already in the war in Iraq, when the US Americans pilots were bombing heavily Baghdad, and you could think it's tools and they have a distance. But there was a high rate of suicides among Iraqi American soldiers in Iraq that were bombing. So it's not working. Our psyche is not functioning like that.
I'm born in colonial Algeria. I'm born in colonial Algeria, and what I see today happening in the war, it's for almost all tools used by the French at this time. It means killing, destroying hospitals, destroying all means to life. How you are Israeli, German, and because the ICJ ruling for me was severe. And what, in your opinion, will have effect on Jewish people and Israeli people?
Well, I think for the Jewish people it's a catastrophe. I don't see how it affects the Israeli people in that sense that they live really in a bubble. Maybe they will start to feel it more and more, because it means the effect will be actually abroad. So it means if the ruling will be for genocide, which is very probable that this will happen, and already now everybody is talking about genocide. It's there, this word. It means that, for example, the German government is complicity for that, and they can be sued for that. So everyone who's going to cooperate with it is risking itself. I think for the Israeli society it means that they are not welcome, even like, you know, on Friday there was a Supreme Court judge that was in the university.
Judge Barak.
Daphne Erez Barak, and she was expelled from there, which is, you know, a reversal if we look at the scene. Usually Palestinians are expelled. And then, you know, they see these liberals that it's not working. So they cannot have their peace of mind and just sit here and talk about democracy, which is very important for Israel. And in the next time, if she goes out, for example, she can be also accused and judged. And they have to live under fear.
She's a judge who authorized the white phosphorus on civilian population.
She is?
She is.
Okay. Then we have it.